I have a video showing the inside handle mechanics on Skill Roll. The playfield's been removed. To take the playfield out, you can remove the machine screws that are at different levels. There's about 5 or 6 on each side. Disconnect the coin lockout relay that's behind the coin mech, and then the playfield just pulls out of the back of the machine. On these spacers, there's 2 little plates here. There's a machine threaded screw that goes into there, and then there's a recess into the wood so that playfield mounting screw can go past the plate. And then these are all wood screws that mount to rails. So the rails are mounted to the cabinet, the playfield's mounted to the rails. And these rails are unique. There's a left and a right side because these shooter barrels are at different heights. And also these flicking pieces that move with the handles, those are unique to the right and the left side. Also on these there is a spring. If I operate this handle, you can obviously see the extension spring, but inside there's also a compression spring that gives a nice flick and stop action. But these are how the handles work from the inside. There's just a nut. This is usually a machine press nut or a nylon lock nut, so they turn kind of difficult. But then there's a washer, and then the shaft goes through that piece. And we mentioned the different kind of shape here at the end of the shaft. This is the female part of that mating surface, and we have this handle removed already. This pulls out from the front of the machine, but you can see where this was mounted in the machine, that flat-sided piece would mate into here. I'd suggest that you break these nuts loose before you take the playfield out, especially on the other side. It helps to brace the lever while you try and rotate it and break that loose. Now, the handles can come apart. They obviously can take the nut off and you can slide the whole handle out the front. Or if you had that driver, you could use your Goldmite driver and take that screw out. If you don't have that driver, you're obviously going to have to just take the nut out and take the whole handle out the front. But the benefit to having that driver, I'm guessing in the engineer's eyes, was that you could take just the handle off. So take the screw out and take just the handle off, which would leave all of the shafts sticking through the cabinet. But then instead of taking the playfield off of the rails like I've done, you could leave the playfield and the rails together and then just take the whole assembly out of the cabinet too. So that's another way to do it. That's only if you can remove the Goldmite screws and take only the handles off, leaving the shafts behind. You can take the rails and the playfield out at the same time. I personally, unless you can't get these nuts off, I'd probably just take the whole handle out the front, because even when you have these separated, this is still kind of tough to get wedged onto the shaft.